And here it is.
Here it is.
Well, I told you, motherfuckers. I told you.
Mm-hmm.
I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it ain't over yet. It ain't good. You want to know how we got here? I'm going to tell you how we got here. Because you punk-ass Democrats. I'm going to tell you how we got here. You punk-ass Democrats. You don't want to fight. I'm going to tell you, you got a bunch of crooks that's running the country, that's in office right now. You got a bunch of crooks. Everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. Got a bunch of crooks. But you Democrats, y'all don't want to fight. These people, they lied, killed, steal, destroyed,
cheated
to get up in that office. So while you was over here, oh no, when they go low, we go high, and I'ma look to the sky. Well, guess what, bitch? While you sitting up here walking, looking to the sky, your ass done walked off a motherfucking cliff. Mm-hmm. How you like that?
Right.
See, I don't get it twisted. I do love Michelle Obama. I do. But that's what I use to describe Democrats. You the ones that will stand there and just let somebody beat on you. While you just, oh, stop. Oh, stop. Democracy. Constitution. Oh, stop. That's Democrats. They won't fight back for shit.
Meanwhile, you got the Republicans over here. You know, they will say anything, they will do anything, to win. And when you really look at that, it's like, who's more hungrier? Who's more hungrier? And then even if, and I'm telling you, like, it's like Democrats, even if they see that side cheated, they ain't gonna say nothing. They ain't gonna say nothing. Because, see, y'all got to realize, man, I keep trying to tell you. I keep trying to tell you. I keep trying to tell you. These are two broke-ass wings on the same dirty-ass bird. How is the bird going to fly? How is the bird going to soar when the wings are broken? Both of the wings is broken. Both of the wings can't get along. Both of the wings fight. One wing tries to fly forward. The other one comes forward, pushes that one backwards, and then tries to fly forward. Birds don't fly like that. It's all by design. I mean, if you couldn't see it with them 6 Democrats voting for, at the end of the day, you never know whose side, these people was really on, man. It's crazy. They knew that old ass waste of skin, Biden, they knew he wasn't going to be able to run and make it through. That was sabotage to me. It was sabotage for his frail ass white ego. Sabotage. And I remember when Dump was one of the main ones talking about how he didn't want to censor people and all of this bullshit. But now look, it shows you they only talk shit. They will say whatever and do whatever to use it at their advantage for that point in time. They've admitted that they lie. Vance ugly ass, wrong turn, people looking ass, Appalachian Mountain. cave people ass. He already said that they was gonna make up stories talking about Haitians eat cats. No, bitch, your people eat people. That's documented. What they do to Nat Turner. Fucking sunburnt demon. But I can't wait for the motherfucking day, bitch. You motherfucking maggots. You MAGA supporters. You really think, man. Cause a lot of his camp, even if they are middle class, quote unquote, they ain't got his money. And the day that they find out, bitch, that he ain't for them, he just used them. Bitch, they gonna find out, bitch, you got fucked more than Nicki Minaj. Literally. Yeah, I said it. Fuck that bitch. I'm getting sick and tired of her. Like, bitch, you calling Don Lemon a cocksucker. Bitch, you a whole sellout. You a whole sellout. And it's like, I just wonder, like, I wonder what does she think? Like, what do you think? Okay, what do you think if somehow something happens and you know these people are impeached or in 4 years, which is I don't think there's going to be another election. Not like how it was. The last real election I would say is when Obama probably got in office. And I think they was even cheating then. But they knew they had to give it to him because they knew black folk came out. Everybody did, especially that first time around. They threw their hands up all shit. We might as well let this nigga win because shit, I mean, it's over. They in line all the way to, bitch, they 5 blocks down the line in Atlanta. Yeah, Obama won. So, but I just wondered, did she think like, okay, what happened if like, what does she think is gonna happen? Like, I guess it don't matter. I mean, why she supporting them? I guess them white folks gonna make sure she good. But message to the LGBTQIA, got to be more wiser. I accepted her. I was never like a fan. I accepted her. Kim is always gonna be the queen. So, and she wasn't nothing but a poor image or a poor version of a carbon clone copy. So, it is what it is. But these people use whoever, and shame on her because it's like Sagittarius is dumb, but they ain't never usually that dumb. Like Sagittarius can usually see the fucking writing on the wall. Like, well, okay, 1+1 = 2. They not like Taurus. You know what I'm saying? Taurus is just fucking dumb. Like Taurus is dumb. Like, bitch, you could write 1+1 = 2 on the wall, on the floor, in the sky, on the window. Not the females. I'm talking about the males. Females is cool. The men, uh-uh. Uh-uh. They call them bulls. They call them bulls for a reason. Bulls are not that smart. But Sagittarius, normally, I do not like Sagittarius, but they are not dumb. Like Taurus. They can usually see the writings on the wall. So I don't know, but it's not going to work out for her in the end. Like right now, you're winning, but in the end, It's not going to work out for you. These are two sides who, even if she do really like this side, they look at her like a joke. The moment she buckles or sways or looks like she's not, they're going to call her a nigga and get your black ass out my country. That's what they're going to say to her. She must have forgot. The motherfucking blonde wigs done really got to her head. But, you know, I mean, she hang around predators, so birds of a feather flock together. I mean, it's all, you know, so for her to align herself with those kind of people, it kind of cements, you know, it kind of cements that, you know, she aligns with that. So, yeah, that's just sad. Maybe now they'll let her have a Grammy. But and then that's the thing, like it was so much talk about Megan Thee Stallion and all of these people, you know, and you know, about how they was, you know, backing Kamala and stuff like that, but she's backing Trump. And it's like, what about her lyrics? You know, what about her disparaging people's kids, calling people's kids monkeys? You know, her lyrics is just as inappropriate, talking about her punani and her BBL booty. So, and then got the nerve to be talking about somebody going up into a church. Girl, please. You disparaged the church on the Grammy stage. Are you crazy? And then people talking about she sold out. She ain't got nothing left to sell. She sold out when she did that Grammys performance. That was the ritual. Girl, in that ugly ass fur coat, you look like a big ass polar bear. And not a cute one. Anyway, the Democrats, they don't want to fight.
I mean, Jasmine Crockett can't do every motherfucking thing. I love Jasmine Down. I do. No disrespect to her. But it's like y'all don't want to fight. You don't want to get dirty. You don't. You don't. And it don't matter what it don't matter. It, like, I seen somebody else talking about, you know, Mitt Romney, and they mentioned somebody else. They mentioned somebody else, but they talking about they setting up, because they gonna present it like they the old school Republicans, and so, you know, they, you know, which is these motherfuckers so stupid. Sit your old asses down.
It's not
dummy.
your party anymore, stupid. They took it from
you so dumb. Mitt Romney and the other guy. Let me play this first. Let me play this shit first.
Are we close to seeing Mr. Kim here at the White House?
Could happen. I mean,
they talked about that yesterday
I would
with Mike
happen.
Pompeo.
Yeah, I think it's something that could happen. Yeah. Hey, he's the head of a country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Don't let anyone think anything different.
Right.
He speaks, and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the same.
Well,
You old ass chicken skin, shaved bird, pale face, demon Neanderthal, cave devil dweller ass, sunburnt skin, diaper wearing bastard. You will never get it. You'll never get it. Fuck you, dump, with your diaper wearing ass. Bitch, you ain't nothing but the devil.
What I don't get is every time we see these summit with these other leaders, even these other leaders don't even respect you. They pay you no attention. When I've even seen like when they're all together, you know, when Putin and all of them leaders is all together, Putin even moved the person out of you know, had his people even move somebody out of his way. You know, when they was all taking their photos and stuff, they don't pay dump no attention. You are a laughing stock amongst the people who you think are your peers.
Sorry. This is going to be. I had to let that play before I move on.
Army. Like, well, she's holding up with paperwork. That's great. Burn the papers. Go in. Be president. Save the country. You're the guy.
Do you hear this shit? And it's always this motherfucker, right? I can't stand this white cracker bastard. I cannot stand him. That's why I really try not to pay attention to none of these motherfucking videos, because these men are cowards. These are nothing but motherfucking the same bastards who took the Bible and took the stories about Christ and they infused it with paganism. So they got you thinking that December 25th is Christ's birthday, but really it's been a pagan tradition, and it was fused together to get followers, to make Christianity quote unquote popular. These is the same motherfuckers that's like this.
You need to understand that these people are the same. He is the same as the people who would burn crosses and bomb, you know, with those 4 young black girls in them. The same that will walk up into a church. Now they're so protective of the church, but it was your people that walked up into church, somebody that looked like this demon, unidentified mutant, ignore motherfucker. It was somebody that looked like this bastard, this shaved bird looking motherfucker right here. It was somebody that looked like him that walked up into a church and actually fellowshipped with the people who majority of was black. And then while they were in a vulnerable moment, he executed them. What was his name? Dylan Roof or whatever? I don't know. But America has a problem. And it's men that look like this. You might hear my words and you might get mad at me, but hey, I ain't never made no laws where coloreds have to drink from this fountain. Coloreds can't go to school. Trying to keep coloreds away from school. No, that was people that look like him. I ain't did nothing. I'm just speaking. And that's my First Amendment right. But it's always motherfuckers that look like this. This coward ass, wannabe, fake ass Clark Kent. Bitch, you look like a retarded ass version of Clark Kent. You want to be his weak ass retarded cousin.
And then this bitch, what I don't like about him, all he gonna do is sit there and run his motherfucking mouth. He ain't gonna get out here and do shit. I hope I never run into this motherfucker. I hope I never run into him. Bitch, cause I'm gonna tell you straight where you come from, bitch. You come from the caves. And you need to read the book of Obadiah. Cause that's your end, cave dweller. And then you see this shit, they allow this shit right on social media, right? So that'll show you where these social media companies stand. But let you say anything about the ew-ish people,
Ew.
they ready to censor you, shut your whole page down. It don't make no motherfucking sense. Then you got these jigaboos up in these churches, just dumb as the days old. Don't want to know nothing. Don't want to know who they are. They're perfectly okay with getting scammed, getting embarrassed. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Oh, but beat down on the gays. You know that. But you don't even know your motherfucking self.
Or that you going to hell.
I can't stand this bastard. But I played this for a reason. To show you. They don't believe in the laws. The laws was created for you. You don't give free. They got you so motherfucking indoctrinated. They don't give free people rights.
Right.
You give slaves rights.
Hello.
You want to know why you don't know? Because you're too motherfucking busy watching NBA, NFL. You could run all them motherfucking stats down, but your dumb ass can't even name 5 black kings or 5 black queens. Can't even remember your fucking kids' birthdays. But you could tell me everything about LeBron James. Probably his dick size, too. Excuse me. The way some of y'all fangirl. And yes, I'm talking to you heterosexuals. Well, you some of y'all fangirl over him. It makes me question you. Shit. I'm so tired of this. They don't believe in the law. When are you gonna wake up? When are you gonna wake up and realize these people don't believe in the law? You just heard what he said, right?
Army. Like, well, she's holding out with paperwork. That's great. Burn the papers. Go.
But
What?
like in Germany, right?
Burn the papers, right?
Like in
so,
Germany.
if they burnt the Constitution, then what?
Ooh.
And I'm not saying that I would ever do that.
Never.
Let me repeat. I would never do anything like that. I would never even burn our flag. That is disrespectful. I love America because my people built this shit. My people built this country. With help from others. But we was the main prospects.
Exactly.
That's why they came and searched and got us. They didn't go looking for the Irish. They didn't go looking for the Asians. It's no shade. Love y'all. Original Irish was black.
Facts.
I'm not apologetic about it. That's the truth. You don't like it, kiss my ass.
Bitch.
You motherfuckers is no longer the authority over shit. We rejecting your history, your theology.
You
And just like you reject your laws, we reject your laws too.
and you, bitch. Fuck you.
Y'all stupid motherfuckers really sitting up still talking about paying taxes, man. It's always the ones that's the last to know. It's always the ones the last to know. That's the only way that they're gonna see. It's with the money. You know why? Because America has become a corporation.
Since 1930.
They burn papers in Germany too. You know that, right?
Sure did. More than books.
This motherfucker sitting up here talking about burn some papers. Bitch, you look like white paper that's already burnt. Just sunburnt skin having ass. Fucking genetic mutation ass.
Garkananak.
Army. Like, well, she's holding out with paperwork.
I
That's
can't
great.
stand
Burn the
this
papers.
bastard.
Go in. Be president. Save the country. You're the guy who tweeted out, He who saves his country violates no law. Let's see it. Do it. We've got a country to save. No more playing games. No, arrest Tim Walz, bring him to D.C., try him, and...
They need to arrest your ass for being so goddamn ugly with them damn ugly ass glasses, you fucking fake ass Paul Bunyan reject.
Cave monkey.
You the one that need to be arrested. I keep showing y'all, these be the motherfuckers that be having all kind of child porn on their laptops, they be pedophiles.
Hester
Birds of a feather, they flock together.
White devil, white devil.
And then these motherfuckers always want to talk about our lips. No matter how much hair or fur or goat hair you have on your motherfucking face, bitch, your lips are the ones that look like monkeys.
White devil, white devil. May you go to the furthest
level. Oh,
level.
fucking Casper, the faggoty, sunburnt, skin, ghost-looking motherfucker.
Of hell.
Spoiled ass jar of mayo.
So he wants Tim Walz to hang, even though Tim Walz is a devout Christian. And he says that's honoring Christ. This has nothing to do with Christ, guys. They're just sick.
And welcome back from the commercials from our sponsors. We're bringing you brother Isaiah Martin. Take it away, Isaiah.
To see how some of these Trump-won states are doing, let's check in on Iowa.
Had slower GDP than most of the nation. I think it was ranked 49th. Two-thirds of Iowans' healthcare costs are rising. 1/8 of Iowa needs to go to food pantries for food.
Wow.
Electricity and natural gas prices are raising.
I
They're
can't believe it
predicting
either, brother.
10 to 15% this year. That's not including 200,000 Iowan families cannot even afford their electricity bills right now and are past due. That's Trump country, but tariffs for them have been a disaster in the farmland.
Isn't that something? They've got a Republican governor, 2 Republican senators, all Republican Congress people, Republican state senate and a Republican state house, Republican president. All that and the economy sucks. Don't make excuses for them. Republican policies cost you money.
Back to you, Sav.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Your racism is going to has cost you greatly. Your racism. And I don't give no fucks.
Hope all you cares.
Because we gonna make it. Because we are the people of God. This is punishment for you motherfuckers. And it's gonna trickle down into us. And baby, the strong is gonna survive. Ye who are really blessed by God. And a lot of you motherfuckers in them pews is gonna perish.
Bootlickers.
Because you trusted your God was your pastor. That's what you gonna find out.
His God was the white man. 501c3.
Working class didn't collapse because people got lazy. It collapsed because the system got greedy. Let me tell you the new American truth. You can work full-time in this country and still be poor. That was unthinkable 40 years ago. But today, it's the new normal. People are working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. People who never miss a shift. People carrying 2 jobs, and they are still behind on rent, behind on utilities, medical bills, car payments. They're behind on everything. That's not a moral failure. That's an economic design. Working class.
And here it is.
Ding, ding, ding. Well, what do we have from Johnny?
And Senator Graham mentioned a $10 billion lawsuit from the president. Really? Where's that money come from? The money fairies or your pocket? And Senator Graham mentioned a $10 billion lawsuit from the president. Really? Where's that money come from? The money fairies or your pocket?
So you can hear
And
it.
Senator Graham mentioned a $10 billion lawsuit from the president. Really? Where's that money come from? The money fairies or your pocket? And Senator Graham mentioned a $10 billion lawsuit from the president. Really? Where's that money come from? The money fairies or your pocket?
Yeah, where does it come from? I've been telling y'all this for years. For years. I've been telling y'all this. You know, but hey, I'll let him tell you.
the sexual molestation of children. Today, the greatest rabbis of the Talmud would be locked up as child molesters. Pederasty was deeply entrenched among the most respected Talmudic rabbis. It was taken for granted that the local rabbi could acquire a baby girl at 3 years of age as his sex toy simply by raping her. Here are several passages from many in the Talmud granting such permission. In Nida 45b, a woman asks, "Master, at what age may a woman marry?" "At the age of 3 years and 1 day, he told her. "A girl of 3 years and 1 day may be betrothed by intercourse." Rabbi Joseph said, "Come and hear. A maiden of 3 years old and a day may be acquired in marriage by coition." When a grown-up man has intercourse with a little girl, it is nothing. The footnote to this passage says, "Tears come to the eye again and again. So does virginity come back to the little girl under 3 years." Although the Talmud forbids homosexuality among adult Jews, sodomy with small boys is permitted. Leviticus 20:13 forbids sexual relations between men. The Talmud, however, defines a boy under 9 years of age as a minor, not a man. He is excluded from the biblical prohibition. Since the boy is not sexually mature,
These are the hedges that they put around the Most High's laws. Do you remember in the scriptures where Jesus had that back and forth with these people? These are the people he was arguing with, mind you, about the washing of hands and stuff like that, and how Christ had to tell him it wasn't about washing your hands and it's about what comes from the heart and what comes out of a man's mouth that defileth the man. That was these same people. I kept telling y'all that they've been placed in the land. They had many conversions. 2 Kings 17, verse 24. That's right in scripture.
the Talmud teaches, he cannot throw guilt upon the rabbi who rapes him. Only he who is able to engage in sexual intercourse may throw guilt upon the active offender, whilst he who is unable to engage in sexual intercourse cannot.
It is significant that the pederasty we have mentioned is endorsed by the very greatest rabbis of the Talmud. These include Rabbi Ben Zakkai, Rabbi Ben Yohai, and Rabbi Akiba.
Look at that baby screaming. At the top left, right here. At the top left, you see the mouth open? That's the baby screaming in pain. What you think he doing? What you think there? You see the baby head right there? Where's his head? That's what they doing. That's what they doing. Now this act has caused this. You can look it up. Now they'll come, oh no, that's only the ultra-Orthodox. That's only the ultra. See, that's how they fool you. That's how they fool you. They all believe in it. And because guess what? They ain't gonna turn on their own people for it. That's how you know they down with it. See, this is stupid motherfucker that I'm talking about here. This Michael motherfucker. See, he the dummy. He's the dummy that's so goddamn dumb that he don't even realize you're the last stop, dummy. You the last stop. Let me play what he said.
They say nobody's safe from ICE. But I beg to differ because I'm an American citizen and I don't impede federal agents.
Okay, so when they burn up the Constitution, are you an American citizen then? Your stupid ass gonna find out at the end. Your ass was used to round the others up to get the others. And you the last stop. Why are you the last stop? Because you don't got the money that these people got, dummy. Yes, you have the same skin color as them, but you don't have the money or power that they do. It's gonna take for him, and I'm telling you, I'm showing you these videos because I'm showing you these people because these are the people that's gonna try to come to us at the end. Nope, you're not welcome. You take your American citizen ass on. I'm an American citizen too. And you really ain't, and you're really not, you really don't belong here. First of all, let's get that clear. You don't even belong here. Ugly ass.
You know how y'all see another rabbi circumcised?
They suck the blood.
With what?
Huh?
With what?
With what? A mouth.
Huh? You heard that. With their mouth.
Yeah.
And that's not crazy.
It is crazy. I agree with them, but...
The farmer, I wonder if I saved the video.
Shout out to Lovely.
He broke down crying the other day on Instagram. He was on my feed. He was very upset because his farm, if he don't pick enough carrots, he's about to lose his farm. And it's sad, you know. It's horrible what's going on.
Fuck him and his carrots.
But again, it's almost like, well, what do you want us to do? You need to be talking to your homies and ask them to go out there and go pick your carrots. Here it is. I found them. I'm glad I saved it. You know, and it's easy to just laugh and dismiss it, but it's really not funny because we're talking about food. So while it's like, you know, we can say, ha, you get what you voted for. But at the end of the day, this is food. And he's not the only farmer going through this. You may not like carrots, but what happens when it's something that you do like to eat that's produced and there's no one to pick it? I've been talking about this now for almost a year. This is not having a trickle-down effect. So let's watch this good old farmer who thought siding with billionaires was going to help him, which is insane because the farmers were shafted during the first administration.
Right. So you thought they would learn, right? Nope. Because they want to be racist.
All of us farmers have officially fucked around and we have officially found... All of us farmers have officially fucked around and we have officially found the fuck out now, guys. I am on the verge of bankruptcy. I'm on the verge of tears. Overnight, all of my help fled. My help, out of fear for their safety, their lives, they fled. And now I am left out here standing in my unharvested carrot field. It is January, and I'm in Kansas, and this is when carrot harvest goes. In Kansas, this field should be full of workers, but all my workers left. And who the do you think is to blame for that? Every single one of them left. Now I have to by myself try to fill that truck with a load of carrots in one day, and I can't do that. Guys, I have to get these carrots to market by next week or my contract is terminated. This is $936,000 worth of carrots right here, and I can't pick them by myself. If they're unharvested, I will get kicked out of that contract, and I will get sued by the Planters Loves Carrots Company. All of us farmers have officially fucked around.
So it is a mess.
Aww. This is what y'all voted for, though. This is what y'all voted for. What shame. Mm.
And this is the real reason. And this is the real reason why Don Lemon and Georgia Ford, two black journalists, have been arrested today. They needed something so fucking jarring that they would get people so angry enough and distracted enough, like arresting black journalists for exercising their First Amendment right. All because new Epstein files have been released that prove Donald Trump was forcing children to give him oral sex. And let's be very motherfucking clear, these children were 13 and 14 years old when these incidents occurred. Mind you, these incidents are documented in the Epstein files, specifically EFTA 01660679, and it reads, an unidentified female friend was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13, 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. But that's not all, because apparently Donald Trump's children were also present when Donald Trump was abusing and assaulting other children. Because another file reads, Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men and included Elon Musk.
Oh, so I guess he really did mean grab him by the pussy. Oh, okay.
Don Jr. Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump were also there. We were then taken to rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald Trump, forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was 13 years old when Donald J. Trump raped me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. And on top of this, the FBI raided an election office in Fulton County, Georgia, and stole the 2020 ballots that were in storage. And we already saw in Minnesota that Attorney General Pam Bondi wrote to Governor Tim Walz and told him that in order for the ICE executions of United States citizens to stop, they would have to give up their voter rolls as well. All because they want to manipulate the 2020 voter rolls to lie and say that they found massive voter election fraud, even though Trump's own Attorney General in 2022 said that it had already been investigated and there were no massive widespread voter fraud like Donald Trump lied about. And all of this is why you're seeing Nicki Minaj call Don Lemon a cocksucker out of nowhere, why she was holding Trump's hand saying she was his #1 fan, why she posted that she got a gold card, and why Don Lemon and Georgia Ford, two black journalists, are put in jail. The distractions are fucking distractioning. Free Georgia Ford and free Don Lemon.
We knew, but now we know. Let's get into the highlights from today's Epstein Files drop. First off, Trump compromised by Israel, and that Jared Kushner is the real brains, quote unquote, behind his administration. You don't say. Speaking of which, it definitely looks like Epstein was Mossad, as you can see here in this cheeky little exchange between him and the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak. And Elon Musk, who has gone silent about the files as of late, looks like he was really looking forward to going to the island. And in this very dark document, an Epstein victim alleges that they were raped by President Bush and also saw babies being dismembered. We also got a number of pizza references throughout the files. And how about Bill Gates allegedly begging Jeffrey Epstein for antibiotics to discreetly slip to his then wife Melinda after he had contracted STDs from, you know what, with some Russian hookers. And finally, who the hell was this someone in China in April of 2009 who sent Jeffrey Epstein a torture video that he loved? B.
Okay. But see, these is people that's all been put on a pedestal. Just like a lot of your black pastors in the church.
Can I ask you guys a quick question? How long do you think America has been under a spell? Like a
since your people came to this land. And that's no shade. I do like Eric. But you asked that question. I'm going to answer you, Eric. America has been under a satanic spell since your people who look like you came to this land. And it's no shade. I don't think you're a bad person. You know, but it is what it is. You asked the question.
real demonic spell over the land. We know that we took the money, the beast money system, in 1913.
Who took it? Who took that money system? What did those people look like?
But did you guys know that in 1933 at the World's Fair, there was an event
Are you talking about 1933, the same year that the Straw Man Act happened? The same year that,
Now, ChatGPT says that this is a conspiracy, that a whole bunch of the same little group of people gathered together and had a child sacrifice ritual to Moloch in the United States of America. But did you guys know this?
It's July 3rd, 1933. 150,000 Jews gather at Soldier Field in Chicago to celebrate 3,000 years of Jewish history and nationhood by worshiping a fire-breathing statue of Moloch and feeding it children.
Auspices of the Jewish Agency for Palestine. The Romance of a People, which the Jewish Agency for Palestine supported and sponsored, was the highlight of Jewish Day at the Chicago World's Fair. But it was the highlight. It would use a chorus of over 3,500 people. Colossal stage properties, as you can imagine, amplified sound, the very latest in lighting effects, music that spanned 4,000 years of Jewish history and experience in diaspora.
That's nice, huh?
And so, y'all know me. I'd like to let them talk about, themselves. And, you can look these names up that she's about to name, but I just want to say to you, black men in the church, and including Juanita buying that hoe, the stuff that she's about to say, like especially towards the end, you want to stop them from doing it, but you want to insert yourself so you can do it. Because a lot of these bishops, like, close the door so we can rob them, Marvin and Big Slow Marvin, and so many other black leaders who have scammed their own church members out of millions of dollars. Act just like these men that she about to talk about.
Here's a list of Christian nationalist pastors, preachers, and religious leaders who quoted God, used Bible verses to gain power, and then fell hard. Jerry Falwell ran Liberty University, used students like props, sex scandal, financial abuse, resigned. Ted Haggard preached morality, got caught with meth and a male escort, resigned. Ravi Zacharias was a global apologist. Multiple women came forward after his death. Sexual coercion, rape, abuse. Robert Morris, a Texas megachurch pastor. The church covered up his sexual abuse of a 12-year-old girl for decades. Mark Driscoll preached hypermasculinity, fired for spiritual abuse and bullying. Jim Baker, televangelist, fraud and conspiracy, arrested. Bill Gothard, the father of purity culture, accused of sexual harassment by dozens of women, ousted. Carl Lentz, celebrity pastor, fired for an affair and toxic leadership. Tony Alamo ran a cult-like ministry, convicted of transporting minors for sex, 175 years in prison. Stacey Lee Austin, Chick-fil-A manager, groomed and assaulted a 15-year-old girl, arrested. And that's just the ones in church. Now, here are the ones at your local state houses. Larry Householder, former Ohio Speaker, Bible in one hand, $60 million bribery ring in the other, 20 years in prison. Ralph Shorty, Oklahoma Senator and youth pastor, convicted for child sex trafficking, 15 years. Josh Duggar, purity culture icon and Family Research Council lobbyist, child porn conviction, 12 and a half years. Mark Samsel, Kansas State Representative, assaulted a student mid-Bible rant, arrested, lost his seat. Rick Renzi, Arizona Congressman, quoted scripture, convicted of extortion and bribery. Roy Moore, Ten Commandments judge, accused of sexual misconduct with teens, lost U.S. Senate race. Matt Shea, Washington lawmaker, wrote a Christian war manifesto linked to domestic terrorism, expelled from GOP caucus. Ralph Drollinger led Bible studies for lawmakers, pushed anti-LGBTQ+, anti-Catholic, and sexist teaching, lost key partnerships after public backlash. Notice the pattern. There's a man, usually white, usually powerful, who wraps himself in faith, quotes scripture, preaches morality, then uses that position to take, because power like his doesn't ask, it expects silence. Sometimes that power takes money, sometimes it takes a voice, sometimes it takes a child. This isn't random, it's not new, it's a playbook, and it works because we're taught to trust appearances over patterns. So if you've ever...
Boom. Everything that she said. But see, she's white, so she don't know how it is in the black Christian church. In the black church. A lot of these black pastors are like this as well. You are just like everything that she described. And then the sad part about it is, when you really get down to it, these people, they don't even be knowing scripture. They don't know who they are. They don't know who God or Christ is. It's a shame. They've lied. Told you that tithes is tithes is money when it's really food. And y'all really think that the church is not going into the great judgment, into the great tribulation. Yeah, I said going into, because you're not gonna make it through. Think you're gonna be raptured. That's not so, my pet. But yep, like she just said right here, I'm telling you, a lot of these black men like create a flow of dollars. Bishop losing. That's what I call Wooden now. Bishop losing. And TD Jake the Snake Mistake. Joyce Joker Face Myers. Oh wait, well, I don't know if she's a man or a woman, I don't know. But these people, see, they want to stop the white man from doing this, but they want to insert themselves so they can do it. As if God don't see that. As if Christ don't see them for who they truly are. She ain't told no lies.
Got a gut feeling about a church, a pastor, a politician, or a family values program? Don't ignore it. Ask yourself who benefits, who's protected, who's sacrificed, because this goes back decades and it is by design. If you're tired of pretending this is about God, say it. If you're ready to name it, share it. And if you've lived through it, know this, you are not alone and you are not crazy. Google it. I keep receipts.
Once again, see, now it's okay. Now it's acceptable. Because, see, you got men like this that's telling you. But I've been telling your ass for years. But hey, go ahead. Let's hear it.
You do know the Mossad was behind 9/11, right? No?
A number of foreign governments may have had...
And not just them. The one who Kanye West said don't care for black people or don't like black people, he was in it too. And his Saudi friends.
foreknowledge of 9/11, but the Israeli government stands out in particular.
And here's why. On the morning of 9/11, a group of 5 Israeli nationals purported to have witnessed the initial explosion of the World Trade Center and were seen to be celebrating the event. At the time, the celebrations received quite a bit of mainstream media coverage.
Fox News has learned some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S., who may have known things they didn't tell us before September 11th.
It's striking to see operatives from a supposedly allied country celebrating the mass murder of Americans. But it is true that some in Israel saw the attack as a good thing for them. A September 12, 2001 article in the New York Times quotes now is...
Mind you, I talked about on previous videos how they attacked the USS Liberty and try to make it like a, oops, sorry, we didn't know that was you right there. But in the meantime and behind the scenes, they really slapping hands with each other like, got them motherfuckers. Because they can't stand us. You want to know why? Because the real Jews are over here.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responding to the 9/11 attacks. Quote, it is very good.
You mean Milikowski? Because that's his real name. Not Netanyahu. Milikowski or Milkowski or Mildew. That's what I call him. Mildew.
We're adding, well, not very good, but it will generate immediate sympathy. Netanyahu predicted that the attack would strengthen the bond between our two peoples because we've experienced terror over so many decades, but the United States has now experienced a massive hemorrhaging of terror. According to FBI documents, the Israelis caught celebrating the 9/11 attacks had videotaped the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center and may have possessed foreknowledge of the same. When the Israelis were arrested in New Jersey, they were carrying box cutters, multiple passports, thousands of dollars in cash, and photos of themselves smiling with the World Trade Center burning in the background.
The Israelis are always for the Israelis first. Always. They don't like the United States, except for the most part, our money. Let's see what Rabbi Finkelstein has to say about this.
Jews in the towers. A lot of Jews died in those towers spiritually.
Oh, I see. Well, the 3,000 Jews were not at work that day in those towers. That just gave a lot of people have the impression that the Jewish population out there in New York, was aware that something was going to happen, and they didn't show up for work that day.
Yeah, we got.
This guy that be talking, that you hear talking, the one who says Jew York, he be talking big shit. He be talking big shit, but see, they get protection. They can say whatever they want. They can be racist. They can say whatever they want. Ain't nothing gonna come to them. But in the end, when everybody finds out that these people are not even the biblical Israelites, it was all one big ass scam. Because they distracted your ass with football, basketball, hockey, and all the other distractions. When they finally stop all that distractions, because they control that, then you're going to be forced to see. And then that's when shit is really going to be pop off. But I'm going to stand to the side. Because y'all deserve it.
A call from the Kahilla that Ariel and some of the boys in the Mossad, they got together and they wired up the buildings and they took them down. It was going to be a hard thing to take them down anyway because we wanted to build some new structures and the buildings were getting old and it was time to bring them down. This way, we make some shekels by destroying the building. Old Silverman, who's a good friend of mine there, Larry, he got a 2-for-1 there, and he doubled the insurance magically just 3 months before it happened, and then he got a 2-for-hit on it, so he made like 4 times his money. I should have been in on the deal. He asked me, but I said, I don't know, let me think about it. It took a little too long for me to think about it.
We are living in a movie, Butterfly, but who is writing the script?
You connect the dots. How long is you connect the dots? It's in your face.
Erica Kirk knew Trump before she knew Charlie. She actually won Trump's Miss Arizona pageant. Her parents are both from military intelligence family. Her dad did Raytheon arms deals with Israel, probably unrelated. And Erica Kirk was part of running an orphanage in Romania where children went missing. Enough children for Romania to permanently ban the orphanage and permanently ban Erica Kirk. Do you know how f***ed up you gotta be to get banned in Romania? Andrew Tate is the mayor there. You really gotta push some boundaries. Mind you, this is when Epstein was still active, so I'll let you connect the dots. By the
Yeah, connect the dots. That's what y'all need to start doing. It's like y'all so dumb. Y'all just waiting for people to come say, here, yes, it's true. I participated in such and such, and yes, we also did this. So you can go sit there and be like, oh my God, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. That's American people. They love to be the ones to say, how did this happen? I just can't believe it. Dumbass.
way, I'm not suicidal. For the record, I am quite happy.
Isn't it? He got to say this just in case for speaking out about this. You know, and me either, buddy. Me either. I would never do nothing to myself. I would never harm myself in any type of way. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live.
Okay, you heard it here. But the weirdest thing about Erica Kirk, she met Charlie Kirk not on Christian Mingle. She went in to interview at his company, Turning Point USA. He said that he fell in love right away. Now, 4 years later, he's dead. And she is now...
The sacrifice. The dumb sacrifice. You so smart when it comes to trying to speak your little statistics on black folk. Speaking their rhetoric, didn't even see that thing coming your way. And was talking right about gang banging and gang violence and trying to pin it on black folks as he was speaking. If that ain't a message, I don't know what is. And the shooter was raised by Dump supporters. People like Dump.
Inherited Turning
The irony.
Point USA. She's doing podcasts on it too. Like, I'm so excited. Like, to my future wife, please wait 2 months after I die before doing a podcast. 3 months.
Then to all the dumb people, everybody handles death differently. Just dumb. Just dumb. Them be the same people that, how did this happen? You stupid bitch. Do you remember when you was saying, everybody handles death differently. Everybody grieves differently. Remember when you was saying all that shit, you stupid hoe? That's when it was happening. Dummy.
If it's my own, come on. When you look at how fast she moved on, and then you look at how it started and how it ended, how it started was not romance. How it started was her going in for a job, and how it ended.
Look at her. Just grungy. They look like meth heads.
Was her getting a promotion. So I'm just saying.
Now look at her. This was the biggest grift. This was one of the biggest grifts in history. Years now, we're going to be talked about by other countries when they do their reports and their investigations and all the shit that was hid from you Dump supporters and you maggots when this shithole becomes a third world country. Because they never told you that America, or America, what it has now become, is in a fire sale. And what do I mean by a fire sale? America is in a going out of business sale. Okay? That's why they letting all these people come in and do whatever, you know, and they bring it in they military, because they know what's about to go down. They know what's about to go down. These kids are rallying themselves against the biggest bully in the sandbox. And I'm telling y'all, Dump, y'all don't even realize. You don't even realize it. Dump is just like Pharaoh. Dump is just like Pharaoh. Pharaoh hardened his heart. Well, actually, it was God that hardened Pharaoh's heart. But God is doing the same thing again. And Dump is Pharaoh. These people think that they are going to win. They are going to be Obadiah. You need to read the book of Obadiah. You know what? Let's go to it. Let's go to it. See, it's only one book. Thus, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord concerning Edom. Who is Edom? One of the descendants of Edom. Edom. This is an Edomite. Look at this shit on his arm. Look at this shit. You see that? Anybody that has shit like this is that coexist shit on his arm. Look at this right here. Do you see that red crescent moon and star? Then you see the cross down here. See, this is that coexist stuff. One religion. One world order. Now, this is in my Google. Right here. You see that J at the top right hand corner. Who is Edom? You tell me. Right here. That's who they are. Idumea. Same as the Edomites. Right here. Right here. This is why I speak freely. This is why I say what I want. Because of these two things right here. I learned this very early. These two things. This is why I say what I say, how I have to say it. It don't matter. Because of these two. Let's go through some pictures real quick. I want to show you something. I've talked about this. I've talked about it. What does this say? Oh. This is a pew from the First African Baptist Church in Savannah, Georgia. These people are not the people that walked out of Israel with Moses. Look, that's what a real Palestinian woman looked like. They don't want you to see that. You think these people ain't still over there? They are. Mm-hmm. I've shared this source. This is a real source. This lady is very credible, Elizabeth Donnan. You can look her up. Very credible. See how they got names? I've shared this. Look, these was real people. Aaron Lopez. Look. Boom. So what do you look like? I've been sharing these pictures. Look. You see that date? Look at this. Black, baby. That don't look like no black man. Look at that hair. Please. While you over here learning, you can run all LeBron James stats down. And there's no shade to him, but yeah, you don't know about your own history. These people was black. Look at that hair. Look at them beards. Don't ever forget. Don't ever forget. Anyway, the vision of Obadiah, and I'm not reading all this, you can read it yourself because I've read it many times. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Why are they greatly despised? Because of what they do, what they've done to the natives, to the black people, the real Jews. You know, I've been showing you to the white person, to that guy at the beginning of this video, him. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Meaning, you come from caves. That's where you come from. Whose habitation is high. The caves are high because Mount Seir, you came from the mountains. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's dump right now. You need to pay attention to this next verse. Though thou exalt thyself as the ego. What's the symbol that a Messica uses? The eagle. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Understood. But I did vote. Oh, I voted. I voted for Harris because I knew what was coming. I knew 250 years was coming, and I knew it was. I'm sorry that you couldn't get past your hatred and your racism, and now you are going to turn around at the last minute and look to us, and we just gonna look right back at you. Like, Especially you 21% of Negroes, men. Yeah, y'all go ahead and keep your asses out there. They been playing. Been playing. And I heard that ICE was going on to the reservations and, snatching people up and saying they don't care about y'all papers. How the hell I'm native. I am native. I'm really native. My grandfather was born on a reservation. Lived there for 7 years until it was burnt down by people that look like dump. So I'm the real native. Cherokee, Choctaw, and Creek. All relating back to the Seminoles. So I'm really am native. And I'm Negro too. But a lot of y'all don't even know because, look, this is what happened. America has been being dirty. And now they doing the same tactics. So what? Is this natives, to my natives out there, is this what, 501? Is this the 501st treaty that they're now breaking? Did you think it was over? But and I really do appreciate, the natives that do stand in solidarity with us, but it's some out there that have a deep hatred for black people. And I don't get that at all. I don't. We ain't the ones that came here, stole your land, Smash your baby heads on rock. That happened to us too. But I guess since you can't beat them, you rather have a beef with us. Because that's all it is. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? You know what that means? Them Epstein files were dug up. All the secrets, that's coming back. Oh, look what we found. Remember them words? Look what we've discovered. Now we finding out that years later, oh, y'all actually buried that there and you dug it up. Just like them Epstein files. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Remember that little analogy that I told you about all the kids in the sandbox ganging up on the bully? See, behind the scenes, they all might call dump and be talking to him and stuff like that. But when they get on the world stage, you see these people don't pay him no attention. He talking about he want his people to respect him. That's not going to get other leaders to respect you. You slime. Nobody can respect slime. These are the same people that they've ate bread together. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? Look, and it was prophesied that Esau shall rule by the sword. And how is he going to be cut off? What you've done to so many. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Verse 12, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Meaning when we fell, they shouted and was victorious. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah, because black people, Negroes, come from Judah, in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of their distress. Well, if you just would have complied, oh, it could never be me. Because you know why I wasn't shot? Because I wasn't at the protest. I kept my blank in the house. Isn't that what that alien said? Megyn Kelly. The one who looked like Roger in a blonde wig from American Dad. Ain't that what she said? Okay. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. See? Thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity, because they stole all our stuff. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. Told you. For the day of the Lord is near upon all heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. That's why they are so afraid. That's why they do the stuff they do. It's insecurity, and they are afraid. Because they know that they think that we gonna do it. It's not gonna be us. It's gonna be God. Because vengeance is the Lord's. That's why he bringing up the day of the Lord. This is what's gonna happen. Revelation 2 and 9, Revelation 3 and 9. He that leadeth into captivity shall be taken into captivity. That's in the New Testament. That's in the back of the book as well. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Right. Meaning we're going to be restored. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. See, Jacob is meaning Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Joseph is the northern, the Hispanics, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, who are Ephraim. Cuba is Manasseh. And they're going to be spanked too. A lot of you Puerto Ricans and you Cubans who was down with Dump, who I will vote for Donald Trump. Remember that? A lot of y'all gonna get spanked for that. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble. See? In the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. A Savior shall come upon the Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau. The kingdom shall be the Lord's. Let's take it here. Hebrews 12. This is New Testament. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Why are they fornicators and profane people? Because I just showed you in the last videos what they like to do, those Republicans. See, what their whole motto is, keep the spotlight on them over there. You know, keep the spotlight on them by accusing them, even if it's lying. Why? To keep the spotlight off of what we doing over here. Epstein files. I just showed you what people were saying. Now we take it here, Hebrews 12. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Look. It's all throughout the Bible. That's why they went through such great lengths, people, to try to hide it from you, that these are that they are the Romans, that they are Esau. That's why they went through great lengths to try to hide. They try to make it seem like Edom just up and disappeared, like Edom has no descendants or anything like that. And that's actually out of order. But why? Because they know their end. Look, it says, the burden of the word of the Lord Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And that's what they did. They went from cave dwellers and living in caves to taking all the lands, ruling by the sword. They've slithered into all civilizations, and try to say that they're these people. But we will return and build the desolate places, even when, those attacks happen on 9/11. We shall rebuild. Well, the Lord of hosts is saying, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Indignation.
Anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. Unfair treatment. Who's dishing out unfair treatment? Who's dishing it out? Who's making plans to take over other lands? Who's doing that? I just wonder. I'm sorry that you have to hear this from your pastor first, in order for you to believe this. But guess what, baby? They're not going to tell you, because half of them don't know. And then the other half, they do know. But that's not going to sell. If they tell you that, then you going to start to ask questions. And you are going to start taking your money and start preparing. I don't know what you're going to do to prepare, because I'm going to tell you like this. Listen to me. I don't know how it's going to happen. I told y'all I don't be knowing how everything is going to happen. I don't know. That's the sign of a real empath, because it's not always as clear like, hey, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, you might get A, B, and then you might end up on E. C and D is missing, because C and D, maybe God don't want you to know that yet, So all he giving you is A, B, and E, F, and H, then L, M, N, O, P. That's how sometimes it is. But I'm telling you, some of these white folks who are so uber prepared, and some of these black folks, some of these black folks who think they, I got loads and loads of tissue. You better be careful advertising what you got. You and your little 1 or 2 guns. When shit hits the fan and a whole mob show up at your house, you only got your little 1 or 2 guns. You best be careful. That was for the black ones, but no, for you white ones who you just hunkered down. You just you in your bunker. You got 7 years of stored, food, and you got remember that movie Tremors? Remember that movie Tremors? Remember when Reba McEntire and the lady that she played and her husband had all them guns and artillery? I'm talking about white folks like that. Baby, I don't know how it's gonna happen. But some way, somehow, the people that's prepared like that, y'all think that y'all have laid that up for yourselves and it's gonna be taken right from you. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I can't tell you that. And remember, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Because I know you'll hear them like, bullshit. Okay. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know. But that's what I seen. And it's going to be some, some people going to fall in judgment. some people, they're gonna fall in judgment when shit hits the fan. Like some of these black people who be bragging about having all this shit, stored up. It's gonna be their own people that do them in. Their own people. Mm-hmm. Yep. But who's dishing out indignation?
I say goodbye to my wife and kids and make the 3-hour trek to St. Paul to fight for our way of life, because day after day, it is under attack from Metro liberals.
A Minnesota state senator just arrested, accused of soliciting a minor for prostitution.
You really can't make this shit up. So this is Justin Eichhorn. He's a senator from Minnesota. And you heard that right. He was recently...
Justin! Oh my God! Not Justin Love! Not Justin! Ain't nobody tell me nothing! Not Justin Love! Be a pedophile too, and it's the Justin. I told him about hanging around that Nicki Minaj husband and her brother. I told him. Not Justin.
Arrested during a sting operation because he was trying to purchase time with a minor for sex. So Justin had been speaking online to someone that he believed was a 16-year-old girl. But when he finally showed up to meet this young girl to rape her, because that's what it would have been, instead of finding a minor, Justin encountered a major problem. The authorities were there waiting for him to arrive, and they quickly...
Ooh, Justin, you look just like the devil. Ooh, you got the devil in your eyes. Look at them eyes. Look at this nice looking white man on the bottom here, and then look at this one up at the top. See, the one on the bottom, he ain't a pedophile. You can tell because he has life in his face and in his eyes. You can see he's a human being. But this one up here, Lord, I didn't know Justin when this. Lord, nobody told me nothing. Not Justin. Not Justin. When I knew Justin, he didn't look like this. That boy got the devil all in his eyes now. Just got the devil all in him. Look at that little smirk. Look at that little smirk. He's smirking. Look at them eyes. Just evil eyes. Just evil. Just evil eyes. If Evil Eye was a person. Not Justin, no.
Arrested him. Now, this is incredibly significant because Justin is a senator, a lawmaker, and he was recently in the news because he was one of 5 co-authors of a bill that would officially designate Trump derangement syndrome as an officially recognized mental illness in Minnesota. Now, it isn't surprising to me that a politician has bing caught in a pedophile.
Wait, so the mentally ill is calling other people mentally ill. Wow, that's...
sting. We already know that there are tons of politicians that are pedophiles. I've covered this issue extensively on all of my social media. But when you've recently been in the news for calling a large number of Americans deranged, your constituents, and then this happens, it's just not surprising. And thankfully, when you go to look up his information, he has resigned. And he's thankfully no longer a senator in Minnesota.
I told y'all, these white, and he's Irish. You know how them Irish is. They tough as fucking iron, bitch. Chin's made of fucking metal, and it would drink your ass under the table. I like Irish people. I really do. Sometimes I hate when, some of them be racist, but I applaud guys like this to keep going, and you're gonna find out, like, we ain't your enemy. We're not. Let's see what he got to say.
Now, it's took me a while to read the Talmud, but I've got a video I want to watch. I want you to watch because I am now 99% certain it's the Jewish population that's trying to obviously get Christians and Muslims to fight each other to the death. Now, watch this rabbi.
Ding, ding, ding.
Watch what he says. And then,
well, I will tell him to, yes, keep that thought, but also make sure you research how the Catholic Church invented Islam. The Catholic Church invented Islam in the 7th century. So before Islam came about, and I have videos on my channels telling you this, showing you the information, showing you the evidence. But before they came together, Islam, they used to worship 364 different gods. They had a different god that they worshiped each day. Because in the Eastern world, even they know that there isn't 365 days in a year. There's 364 days in a year, 52 weeks, 52 Sabbaths. And so they had a different God that they worship every day of the year. Well, around the 7th century, that's when the Catholics, they were looking for a prophet. And so they found Muhammad. Muhammad had been hanging around the Hebrews, the Brus, the black Hebrews, because, and so he knew, about the Bible and stuff like that. He came together with the Catholics. They gave him the same offer that Satan tried to give Christ. He accepted it. They gave him a little money, elevated his status, gave him a backstory and everything else. And I'll show you all of this. And he came, trying to get our people to sign up with his BS. And we said no, and it's been a war ever since. That's how many Somalians, who black people are not related to, but that's how many Somalians, Ethiopians, that's how many Africans became Muslim, because they were forced. Just like how many black people became Christians, because they were forced.
anybody's out there going, why would they flood the country? Just watch what the rabbi says. Watch the fucking video and then do some research and stop expecting the news to be honest to you and Keir Starmer to be honest to you. Open your fucking eyes.
This danger in the world is if Esau and Ishmael ever...
So, who is Esau? Esau and Ishmael. We know Ishmael is the Muslims, the Arabs. But who is Esau? And what I don't like about them, the one that's talking, he don't even know. You talking about your own people, because y'all was overtaken by Esau too. But who is Esau?
Came together. If they're ever united, says the Quran, if Edom and Ishmael ever united, they would destroy the world. You can never mix Cain and Hevel together.
Oh, you can never miss Christians. Oh, okay. So Christians are Edom. Why? Because Edom took over Christianity. Edom, which is, a lot of people like to say Christianity was in Ethiopia. That was not Christianity. The Bible was in Ethiopia. Yes. That's why they have the Ethiopian Bible, but that does not teach Christianity. That book was in Ethiopia because Moses spent 9 years in the Ethiopian army and he became king in the Ethiopian army. So that's why they have but it doesn't teach Christianity. But you notice he said you can never mix Christians. Why? Because predominantly Christianity came from the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church is white folks today. Yes, the first 5 black popes were black, but after that, it's been white ever since.
And that's why we wish both of these Umayyads in their war against each other, bracha v'hatzlacha. My message to both of them is we wish both of them tremendous hatzlacha. They should wipe each other out. None of it, both sides should not be matzliach as much as possible. We wish both sides tremendous hatzlacha in their avodah of wiping out the other party.
I've actually even got evidence now that the Holocaust was fucking faked. It's actually, we've been manipulated to believe that they're...
Oh, he's really waking up. Oh, he's really waking up. Because I've been teaching that too. And I know that too. There were no gas chambers where people were put in them. No, there were no. That did not happen. Then why do they look so malnutrition? Because of typhus. Look up typhus. What is typhus? That's what was going on at that time. It was wiping them out. Wiping them out. Left and right. Wiping them out. Bad. Just like the bubonic plague. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was a link. There was so much typhus back in that day. That is how they were all be sick. They were all coming across typhus. But that's a secret.
The fucking victims when they're not. Honestly, like, I'm not anti-Semitic or anything like that, but I'm just fucking, from all the evidence I'm...
They're not Semitic. They're not Semitic. A lot of them don't. They come from Japheth. Because Esau made it with Japheth. Esau's blood is not pure. Because Esau lost his what little melanin he had because he made it with the Horites who had made it with the Nephilim. So they are part Nephilim.
Seeing now, and from everything I'm fucking reading, the fucking people who are trying to obviously get us to kill each other is the Jewish people. Now, a lot of them will be like, well, that's anti-Semitic. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm just speaking from my personal opinion. I'm not fucking wishing death on anybody. I'm not inciting riots, racism, hatred. I'm not a Jew inciting death on fucking Christians and Muslims. Ask yourself this question. Why has ISIS never ever attacked Israel? Ask yourself that questions. Maybe because they're getting fucking paid by them. Maybe it's because they're from them. Like, think about it. If they've attacked every single country but not attacked fucking Israel, what's that tell you? Like, come on, use your common sense, people.
So, remember a couple videos back how I showed you about those black Hebrew Israelites that had those white women kissing their boots, and how I rebuked that brother for doing that because I do not believe in that shit. I will keep saying that on all black Hebrew Israelites do not believe in the same thing. I do not believe in making nobody trying to kiss nobody boots because we have not kissed the boots of Christ yet. Our Redeemer, our Savior. We have not kissed his boots yet, so should nobody be kissing our boots because we is all filthy rags. It just happened that the ill-ish people are more filthy. But I said on the video how the star, they think it's the Star of David, but it's not. And I've actually spoken about this in the past, but I will let this brother tell you.
Did you guys know that the Star of David is actually a sigil for the worst demon in existence? This demon is no other than Moloch. Now, in case you guys are not aware, Moloch is the exact demon that all these elites are worshiping. It's the demon associated with the crimes against children. Now, going a little bit deeper into this, you see this in the Bible actually in Acts 7:43. It talks about this star and it talks about Moloch directly associating the two. Now, what would be really weird is if we had a country in existence that used this star to represent themselves. Now, another thing that would make this extremely weird is if this same country had a history of sacrificing children, seeing that that's what Moloch specializes in and asks people to do. So if there was a nation that used this star to represent themselves and they sacrifice children frequently and by the thousands and thousands, wouldn't you think that the people of this nation actually worship Moloch? And wouldn't it be even weirder if the Bible actually talked about this? In Revelations 3:9, it points the same direction. Talking about the
Not only did I mention Revelation 3:9, but he also mentioned it too. Hey, that's great.
synagogue of Satan and those who claim...
Who is that? Who is the synagogue of Satan? See, they'll try to make you think, oh no, that was just those churches back then. No. It's the same people.
To be Jews, but are not Jewish at all, that they're faking. Now, adding my personal 2 cents into this interesting concept that we're talking about, I actually think this extends past the Jews. I think there is Muslims who pretend to be Muslim that aren't, and I also think there is Christians that pretend to be Christian that aren't. I mean,
Well, buddy, this is not... Thank you for the 2 cents, but I'm going to give you your 2 cents back. The scriptures don't say anything about Christians. That scripture don't say, Revelation 3 verse 9 does not say anything about Christians. It's talking about the Jews. Because, see, the Christians have already been told their judgment. You know, many on that day shall say to me, Lord, Lord. That's Christians. Lord, didn't I prophesy in your name, Lord? Didn't I cast out devils in your name, Lord? And remember me, Lord, I'm Sister Shirley. I cooked all them cakes. I baked all them cakes for Pastor. Lord, I don't want to go with the sissies. I don't want to go with the sissies because that's where I've been telling them that they gonna go and now I gotta go with the sissies. See, that's the Christians. See, because they spend all their time condemning the gays, that they failed to realize that they were even more filthier than the gays. And so actually they're going to go first. Because see, they condemned the LGBTQIA to go first. And you know, the first shall be last and the last shall be first.
Who started Gateway Megachurch just got arrested, Robert Morris, for doing crimes against a 12-year-old girl. This is everywhere. This has infiltrated every religion, and we live in a time where it's...
Who has infiltrated every religion? Who? Not what? Who? Who? Who started off as a snake and by revelation turned into a dragon?
Coming to the surface and everybody is knowing the truth. This will always come back.
Everybody is knowing the truth, but people still don't want to say it for some reason.
We live in a time where it's coming to the surface and everybody is knowing the truth. This will always come back to Moloch worship. This is the demon behind the chaos that's happening today. Did you guys know that the Star of David...
Well, how did that work out with the new TikTok? Now we see.
It's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it.
You are a fork-tongued snake, Shlomo Kramer, which is snake tongue having ass. And you aren't really the people that you claim to be with your imposter ass. That's why you want to limit people and what they're able to say, because you don't want to hear the truth that you are a bastard and you have no father. Oh, I'm sorry, you do. His name is Satan.
And quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to...
Before it's too late. Because they don't want the people to wake up. They don't want the people, they don't want you to hear stuff like what I have to say and what I have to show you.
Control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government
should
control social media.
Yeah, they should do that. And we need to educate people against lies, and government need to develop cyber defense programs that are as sophisticated as the cyber attack.
Yo, look at him at the bottom. I told y'all when these white people like this, when these white guys that's like this, see, I call this the regular American white guy. I don't care if he's a Trump supporter. I don't care if he, is a, leftist or rightist or whatever. I don't care. I do not care. I'm talking about white guys, regular white guys like this. Regular white guys who ain't, who really don't know too much about, Israel and all of that bullshit. You wait until these people start digging, and you wait until they wake up, and you wait until they come across the right shit, baby. You just wait. And then I'm telling everybody they've gotten to ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is now saying stuff like this has been taken out of context. How the hell do you take this out of context? This is literally what it says. I've been showing this for fucking years. I've been showing this for 10 plus years now. I've been showing this. Been showing this. Everybody looking at me like, ugh. Now the world is starting to wake up. Great. But you just wait. You wait until white men like this, they're going to keep on digging, and they're going to be the ones to turn. I just showed you a video of that Shlomo bastard. Why do you think he said, oh, it needs to be a censorship before it's too late? See, it was fine when our black asses was talking about this stuff. It was fine when the Hebrew Israelites was on the corner, teaching this very same stuff. Oh, yes, I'm bringing it back. Oh, I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back to those guys, those niggas that was on the corners telling you that black people are the real Jews. Well, that's not all they were saying. If you got past all the yelling and cussing and stuff like that, they also was saying this stuff too. They was telling you this stuff too. But see, when you're out there and you're encountering those guys, a lot of guys like this guy, they can't get past their fragileness and their insecurities to receive what these people are saying, what those people were saying to them on those corners. And I get it, because, who wants to stand there and get cussed out in front of everybody, So I get it, but I just want you to know, we all don't believe, in those tactics. I will cuss your ass out. I will, but I will also talk to you too. There are videos where I'm pretty much taking you through and just showing you the evidence. But I've talked about this a lot. So, yeah, you just wait. Yeah, look. These are people of God, right? These are people of God, right? are the people of God. That's what they claim. What they believe in this. This is what they believe in. Boom. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. 2017, 2016. George Friedman, in his book The End of the Jewish People, pointedly states that the Europeans claiming to be Jews are nothing more than Hebrew-speaking Gentiles. Look. They are Satanists that read the Talmud, a very evil book that says Christ is in hell boiling in semen, excrement. Told you. I've been telling you this for years. These people. "2016. Love you."